Hey, it's Buddy Lee. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're looking at War 3 of Season 33, and DSVG is going up against Legion. And for this war, my team is TIGRA, Kitty, and White Mags. For Section 1, we'll be taking Path 3, so first up we have Super Scroll. So I boost up pretty big for Section 1, because I'm going to be taking the shared fight in the end of this section, and I want to make extra sure that it'll go well. The nodes here to worry about are Hit Me I Dare You and Static Defense, so if he has an armor buff, he can apply shock to me when hitting him, and if I hit him 10 times, he'll get an armor buff. I have a power start 1, so I just want to land a few heavies and then launch SP2. However, this scroll didn't really want to cooperate very much in this fight. So we didn't bait that second heavy in time, and the unstoppable armor triggers with neutralize down. So I bail on the heavy and launch an SP1, and we do get away with that. Now we have Falter, and I throw a light right after his heavy to deactivate it. Now we can launch our SP2 to finish this fight off. Next up is Kingpin, and he has Power Focus 2 and Ionized Armor, so since he has the Unstoppable Armor Global, we'll have to watch out for the timer and also after he throws specials. And we're taking this fight with Kitty. So you see that he got the Unstoppable passive after his special, but we did have enough time to land one hit before it triggers. We got our 3 prowess to phase now, and I'm gonna build to SP3 first here, and then get that long incinerate and try to build back up to SP2. We bait a special so Kingpin has low power and then phase into the SP3. We really have to be careful for the global since we have the timer and he has extra power gain, giving him even more chances to trigger after the specials. Right about here, my daughter barged into my room, and even though I was saying I need a minute, she decided it was a good time to bounce a ball off of my head. I get stuck in the corner, and since Kingpin went into overpower, I end up getting caught with his unblockable SP1. We are super close to SP2 though, so I land a few hits and dash back and then into phase into the SP2, and we get out of this fight alive. So this was a new fight for TIGRA against Man-Thing on node 20. I've seen people take him with Omega Red and Doom, but I thought TIGRA could do it way easier, so I got the assignment this time. We activate another Power Start 1, and we really want to get this fight down quickly before we have to worry about the strike counter or any poison damage. So the plan is to just land our 2 heavies and go into SP2, then miss counter his SP1 and go from there. Well, I'd say that went just as planned, and we get this fight down in just 18 seconds. Now on to section 2, and we'll be taking path 6, so first up here is Magneto. So we boost up again and we use another Power Start 1, which we've been using a lot of because they're so strong for TIGRA. Not much to say about the nodes here, as it's a pretty basic fight for TIGRA. Magneto didn't cooperate with his SP1 after the knockdown, but we have 2 bars of power, so we just miss the projectile and launch SP2 even without any ruptures. Magneto was a little further from the wall than I wanted him to be, so I didn't launch the heavy here. I just throw the SP1 and go into some more heavies and finish with 1 more SP1. Not picture perfect, but it was an easy fight that we come out of at 98% health. Next is Terrax, and for this fight we want to avoid hard knock life, so we won't parry, and it's just a basic Terrax fight. Terrax is super aggressive with his rock shield active, so we bait a few heavies to counter, and then we are going to go into SP2 for the win. That SP2 just shreds him, and it's over. Next is a nylus on Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge. We have a White Mags pre-fight for this one, and that'll allow us to parry and not have to make our own openings. We go ahead and top off our health and boost and use 1 more Power Start 1. I'm trying to bait a heavy while Neutralize is active so we can counter it, but he doesn't want to throw it, and by the time that he does, the Neutralize has worn off. We go for the SP1 miss counter, but our spacing is off, so I go right into SP2. This time we get the proper spacing and counter the SP1, and then go into our SP2. Unfortunately, he clears off his ruptures for Mighty Charge, but we still do some solid damage. On this SP1 counter though, I'm worried I'll get clipped by the first part, and I dash back again, and I still try to make the counter and we get hit in the face. I just do a miss on the last one, which pushes us to a bar of power, and I launch the SP1 for the win. Onto Boss Island, and we have Safeguard Cersei. We know TIGRA doesn't care about Safeguard, and she'll also shut down all of Cersei's tricks. We land a combo, and now we want to bait Cersei's heavy with neutralize active so that she doesn't get her glancing, and we counter that heavy into the SP2. We counter her SP1 into some more heavies, and then another SP2 finishes her off. Alright, now all that's left is the Nimrod boss. It's a rank 4 Nimrod with almost 100k PI rating, so we go ahead and boost up again, and this time I use an indestructible, just in case I slip up at all, but also I'm running much lower on the power start ones. I have an extra white mags pre-fight, so we throw that on there too. So far, it's been a great fight for us, and Nimrod is going right along with our plans. But now on this SP1, I went to swipe in, and I missed or it just didn't register, so I'm left far away holding heavy, and with the power drain, I'm now under a bar of power, so I go for the heavy, and we end up safe. And this time I actually get clipped dashing in early, which never happens, and I take an SP1 to the face, eating up the indestructible charges. I get the SP2 off, and now my senses are going to start running pretty low. We counter a few heavies, and while taking some blocks, a neutralize prevents an armor buff, which places a rupture and KOs him. So we still get out of the fight somehow in pretty good shape. That was by far my worst fight against a Nimrod boss, but we still got out of there with 82% health. So now let's look at the results of the war. And our alliance still isn't performing how we'd like to, with 11 deaths in this war, but we squeaked out a win and still won by 1 attack bonus. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.